Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Kat Mak Talk Show. And of course, I'm Kat Mak, and I've got Darcie Burtch with me. Welcome back. I'm so excited to have you back.
Thank you so much for having me back.
Pleasure. We talked about 6 months ago, and things change, chop change, life happens, and we continue keeping on. And you're going to be sharing with me your story because we know that your story matters. If we are not sharing our story in a positive light, then how are we impacting the world? Because I know you're here to do pretty much what I'm here to do. We're the catalyst of change. Please subscribe, please like, please share it out. Please buy Darcie's book. Darcie, I'm going to intro you, best-selling author twice over. The School of Hard Knocks, which is what I would love you to talk about in a sec. Please introduce yourself. And the one question that I have for you is, straight off the bat, why did you decide to put your pen to paper number 2?
Well, my name is Darcie, and I live in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
The Packer state, the beer state, the cheese state, all the good stuff.
All the good
Um,
stuff.
yeah, all the good stuff. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm a grandma. I'm a fur baby mama.
I can't believe that when you told me this last year, I'm like, I can't believe that you're a grandmother. Like,
yeah.
how does that even work?
Our second one is about to be one on St. Patrick's Day. So beautiful thing. So I am also, like Kat said, I am a two-time best-selling author now with the Empower Her series. And I am the podcast host of the School of Hard Knocks, as you see behind me. And recently I just got my practitioner certification in neuro-linguistic programming, clinical hypnosis, all kinds of stuff that's able to help people release trauma, sadness, hurt, grief, pain, everything my podcast stands for.
Okay, so I'm going to get into the NLP practitioner bit in a sec. Why did you decide to write a book again?
Well, because it was such a great experience the first time. And, I think God just needed me to do it.
Yeah.
My life changed drastically from the first book.
So
My dad passed away a couple of months after that first book launched.
I know you were caring, and it's a challenging time for us that have ailing parents. And let's be real, we're in an era where we're an aging population.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel?
Yeah. Well, if you catch my first book, it was a really different story. My dad was a survivor of a workplace shooting that happened that resulted in a traumatic brain injury. So we did not anticipate him to pass away when he did, but God says, and that's just what it is. But I'm almost 5 months into the grieving process at this point, and it is the hardest thing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Yeah, this is very interesting. How do you process the grief? Because my mum passed as well.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I dreamt of my mother. I got up an hour and a half ago, and I dreamt of my mother today. And I have only dreamt of my mum 4 times in the last 2 years. And how do you sometimes walk in the streets and see your dad? Or do you see
I actually did think I saw him on a bicycle recently, and it really kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Because it was him.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. He's been all around me the whole entire time. And I know he's so super proud of everything that I'm doing. And I'm treating my grief the way that we all should, but we don't. And I'm giving myself grace. I'm giving myself time and understanding and nurturing myself. I've never lost my dad in totality before. So this is a learned experience, but yeah, it's definitely hard. 0 out of 10, don't recommend.
No,
It's just hard.
The interesting thing is, and I bet you can relate now, is that grief, you do the whole, they pass away, you do the whole funeral and everything, you have all the people, you have all the love, and then all of a sudden, because I was my mum's carer. I was always in fast mode, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know how to switch off. I would, you can probably relate. I would be thinking, oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, I've got to go to the supermarket. I've got to get food. Then I'm like, no, mum's not here anymore. So I had to process slowing down and finding myself again.
Yeah, for the first week, it was very much, oh my gosh, do we leave him in the bathroom? We have to get him something to eat. Like, where's his medication? It's all this idle hand stuff. Like, what do I do now? Yeah, it's been different.
So, again, I'm sorry your dad has passed, but he passed in his own way. And a TBI
Yes.
survivor, it's not easy. So
Yes.
kudos to you. And, like you said, in this chapter, your life has changed.
Hmm.
I'm going to quote you, and then we're going to talk about, I'd like to talk about NLP practitioner and another couple of questions that I've written down for you. But I wrote down this time around, which is different to the last time because we've been on the show before. Um, I love that you have the trauma toolbox. So we'll talk about that in a sec because it is something that you can actually help with for other women and men and people out there that are going through the same trauma that you're going through. And a trauma toolbox, literally a little toolbox, which I'm going to get you to talk about in a sec. Learning how to love myself and put myself first was very difficult. You called it initially selfish, and you had to reset your nervous system. So can you just expand a little bit about that? Because I thought that was that resonated with me. And I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Well, because especially as women, we are programmed to always be helping people and always being accessible for our children, our significant others, our siblings, whatever. So it feels like when you're trying to put yourself first, it feels kind of selfish.
Yeah,
Like in our mind, that's what we're thinking is that it feels kind of selfish. And it's not. Self care and taking care of yourself allows you to take care of other people in a really good quality way instead of a forced way. I'd rather help somebody and feel like, oh, I'm so happy I did that than be like, oh, I'm so drained from having to do that again.
yeah.
So when we're filling ourselves and taking care of ourselves, we're genuinely happy to take care of other people because we have the energy to do it.
I did a 3-part series on the on your helping your nervous system, and that is exactly what you just said. If we don't help our nervous system and give us happy hormones, like you just said, how are we going to help others? And don't get
Hmm.
me wrong, I fall into that as well. I can easily go backwards, and I've got to go, ooh, what's going on? And I know you
Hmm.
share it. You share this out on the School of Hard Knocks as well, because it is the School of Hard Knocks. It ain't just roses and pretty little petals. I would be
No.
sitting here lying to you to say if you're building a business, going through grief, grandmother, kids, fur baby, my dog's at my feet. Funny that. You don't need tools in your toolbox. So talk to me about the grief toolbox.
So the toolbox I absolutely love. I love the toolbox. And these are tools that a lot of us already know about. But again, it's the self care part of I'm having an emotional moment right now. Am I going to go down the rabbit hole or am I going to access a tool that's going to help me? So, listening to your favorite song, playing one of your favorite movies, going for a walk, drinking. Well, I mean, there's so many things that we can do. But the thing about life is that we're always ever evolving and life is always going to life. So, I even had to create a new toolbox after my dad died.
Yeah.
I used every damn tool in that toolbox and I was like so pissed still. I was like, I can't believe my dad died. This is insane. I can't stop thinking about it. And I was driving myself mad for almost the first month. And
Yeah.
I said to my husband, I gotta figure out a different tool that's going to help me because this is not it for me. I am so out of my body. I don't even know who I am
What
anymore.
did you do? See? Yeah, I get it. What did you do?
I actually started replaying some of my favorite movie clips in my mind. So I couldn't get the vision of finding my dad out of my head the morning that he died. And I couldn't stop thinking about it. And so I started thinking about like Pretty Woman is one of my favorite movies. Or
So good
Beverly Hills
film.
Cop is such a good one.
Which one?
Beverly Hills Cop.
So good.
Yep. So I'm playing like some of my favorite things. And then the next thing you know, I'm thinking about that clip of the movie instead of the vision of my dad. And I was
I
like, oh my
love
gosh, I
that.
just figured something out that helped me.
I love that. That is such a clever tool. I love
Yes.
that. This is the first time I've ever heard of replaying a movie in a scene that, again, relaxes your central nervous system. And it's as simple as that. And you can be doing it, not that I'm saying you should be doing it in the car, but you can be doing it in the car if need be, but get concentrated on the road. Just saying, concentrate on the road, people.
Our subconscious will get us where we're needing to go.
But yeah, so true. I love that analogy. So for women out there, what is one inspiration that you can share that will inspire a woman to, if they're in that funk, and because I know you have multiple businesses, to do exactly that?
Take a moment to realize that you're just in a moment. This is just a moment. I know whatever it is that you're going through, no matter how hard it is not going to last forever. So I've really honed in on making sure that when I'm having a moment, it's just a moment. It's not an hour, it's not a day, it's not a week, a month, a year. It's a moment. And I allow myself that. It's kind of like when you're working out and you're getting healthy. Allow yourself that little snack if you still want it so your body doesn't overly crave something.
Yes.
This is the same concept. Allow yourself that little emotional release. So all of a sudden you're not, 3 bottles of wine in playing Sinead O'Connor crying for 3 days. We can do better than that.
We can do better. It's not always 1:00 time around the world.
Yeah.
Because we're Aussies. Aussies, we're 1:00 time every time. And let me tell you, it's easy to fall down that rabbit hole.
Absolutely.
So easy. And it ain't pretty. I've been down that road, and I was not even a drinker. Not a drinker at all. And I'm like, what is going on? I didn't love how my body felt. I needed to numb the pain. And I'm like, what's going on? This is not me. My ex-husband used to say, I'd have a glass of wine. He used to say, I'm the cheapest to keep, because that one glass I'd have for 7 hours. Like, we'd go out and be like, don't get me wrong, we're really good mates, got a very good relationship. And it'd be like, one glass, 6 hours. I'm like, that was me. But then it changed because I didn't know how to process stuff. I didn't know how to regulate my nervous system. I didn't do what you've just done with the toolbox and all that. It's learnt experience. So if you're out there thinking, how do I do it? Listen to Darcie. Darcie just gave you 2 and 3 amazing tools. 1, it's just a moment in time. 2, it's not selfish. It's needed. What the third one was?
Replay a movie clip inside of your mind.
The movies. Replay the movies, the happy hormone movies, because it's all about the breath work. And yes, it could very well be an overplayed word. And I'm going to ask you, is it overplayed? I don't think so. I just think we are accepting that we have to breathe slowly.
That's exactly right. That's all we can do, because when we allow ourselves to go, it's like watching dominoes fall.
Yeah.
And it's not going to stop until the last domino falls. And that is terrifying, to allow like something that has its own momentum to take your life.
Listen to this woman preach. Yeah.
Be your own momentum.
Be your own momentum. You should use that. I hope you use that as a tagline. Be your own momentum. Be your own momentum. That should be the title of your next book. Be your own. Go throw that one down.
I love it.
I'm writing that down. I'm going to send it to you. Be your own momentum.
Yes.
Be your own momentum. So, well, kudos to you for becoming a NLP practitioner. For those of you that don't exactly know what that actually means, can you please share with the world?
Neurolinguistic programming is a really soft, gentle way to help you release grief, pain, hurt, sadness, all of the not good feelings that we have. But there's also different programs along with it that can help you release other things like cravings or, motivate yourself, feel determined. There's all different things that you're able to do, and it's all using our own brain. Just using our brain, being open to receiving and being open to being receptive. It's absolutely incredible.
It certainly is. I learned about NLP way back in the my first job. I worked for KFC way back then, and
Wow.
yeah, way back then, and we're talking the mid-90s. And then I was trained up, and then I was trained up again a few years back. The funny thing is, we all have it. We just don't know how to use it.
And you know what? It's not that hard of a thing to do either, to learn. I mean, I will be honest, it was 120 hours last month while I'm going through grief of trying to figuring out all of this stuff and publishing a book and all of this stuff. I literally achieved the most amount of stuff in the shortest year of the entire year.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that, because that's exactly your moment in time, Darcie?
Yes.
That's exactly where you needed to be, to do what you needed to do, to go through the grief that you're going. So again, I'm going to reiterate what Darcie just said. It's a moment in time. And if it means you need to run a marathon, you run a marathon. If it means you need to sit on a chair and do nothing, that's fine too. However, sitting there on a chair doing nothing for a long time will play with your brain.
Yes, it will.
You need to move. Everyone needs to move.
Every single thing that has to do with our whole makeup, emotional, mental, physical, is literally one step at a time. Just take one step.
One step. Question for you, and I know I've asked you this before, but I'm wondering if it's going to change. If you were to look in the mirror of your former younger self, and you know what? We can say last time when I asked you this question, it was a 20-year-old self. But I'm going to ask you this. If you were to look in the mirror of the version of yourself that was literally 3 years before, what would you say to her?
3 years before now? Buckle up. It's going to be a scary roller coaster ride for a little while, but you are going to find pieces of yourself that you didn't even know existed. And it's going to be just like with everything in my life, I'm going to come out on the top. And I never haven't. So I know that I'm going to be okay. I think this time I'm going to be more than okay because now I'm really striving to show people it doesn't matter how much you lose. It doesn't matter what life takes from you. You can still live your best life. Don't ever give up on your dreams, your hopes, your prayers, everything. This life is just temporary here. And we're all going to go through hard things. And it's unfortunate, but we all have the same amount of hours in a day. We all have the same 24 hours, and what we're choosing to do with it really isn't outside things. It's us and what we're choosing to do. So live your best life regardless of, in spite of what life does.
Yeah. Darcie, I love your wisdom.
Oh, thank you.
I really do. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing with me you got this thing around you. So get connect with Darcie if you haven't. I'll have the links all down below. I appreciate you, and I know it's dinner or clock time where you are. I think it is. Is it?
About an hour and a half away, yeah.
Yeah, it's dinner o'clock. Mm-hmm. We're only like 17 hours ahead of you, so it's
no big deal.
Big deal, crazy ass. But can you see how the connection of the interweb compresses space?
Yes,
because it's just connection. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You have a good evening to you.
Thank you. You too.
Bye for now.